Hello there. First and foremost, I like to talk about giveaway that I'm going to be giving away for to the people who are participating in my discussion. So I'll be giving the winners of the discussion copies of Tony Robbins Master the Game, so that by the time you graduate, you can set yourself up for financial freedom. Today we'll be talking about Spotify and music player interfaces. So here's a definition of interface: the point where two systems, subjects, organize, etc. meet and interact. For the context of music player interfaces, let's briefly talk about the evolution of music player. So the phonograph was invented in 1877 by Thomas Edison. It was essentially the way for music to be listened at home. Instead of hiring a band and going to a live concert, the user can play their favorite song at home and at any given time. Phonography was marketed in the public in 1896 and become what we later knew as vinyl due to synthetic plastic created from polyvinyl chloride. The vinyl player interface consists of interaction between the disc and its player for the music to be played. After the vinyl, the transistor radio was invented in 1954. The transistor radio was functional through batteries instead of power cord compared to vinyl record player, which allowed it to be portable and gives the user capacity to bring it anywhere they go. The transistor radio interface was simply the on and off button and the knob to tune in the right frequency. Fast forward, we have cassette tape, which is roughly the same thing, but the ability to play music on the go. Cassette tape was invented and released by Philips in 1963. The cassette player was smaller and had buttons to control things like start, stop, fast forward, etc. It offered music in a small and more compatible format, portable format than the transistor radio. They also enabled the first mixtape. The CD player was the first released in 1982, although it was bigger and less portable than the cassette player. The CD were easier to transport. The biggest change from the first music player was the CD player itself provided a more stationary option. It was also an upgrade from cassette tape player because it produced better quality sound and increased durability. It was possible to pause and play music and adjust volume as well.
Gonna put music in your pocket.
What?
100 songs, 1,000 songs, 500 songs, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 songs right in your pocket, because I can't stand looking at that inexplicable Walkman anymore. You're carrying around a brick playing cassette tape. We're not savages, so I'm gonna put 1,000 songs in your pocket.
You can do that?
Mm-hmm.
The first MP3 player was released in 1998. The MP3 player was completely different than any other music player before. It was smaller than the CD and it was more portable. Also, the MP3 player did not have to be plugged into a wall and it doesn't need battery replacement, so you can just charge your battery. So therefore it's making it more eco-friendly. This brings us to 1999, when Napster was found. Napster changed the way people consume music. Instead of going out to buy albums, people can just download for free. Essentially, Napster forced the music industry to develop digital distribution and stream technology in order to cope with the rise of privacy in the music industry. So, interface is a highly contested and contingent term that deserves a detailed explanation. There is no shortage of literature on what different thinkers believe the interface encompasses. And as one would expect, the interpretation of term blah 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 blah. Good, but I gotta get this right though. So I'm just gonna show you a clip of the founder of Spotify.
People want to consume music. And the more I started researching it, it actually turned out that there was 500 million people that consume music that way. And at the same time, musicians were struggling and they can't make money out of music anymore, so they keep doing it for touring and they kept doing all these things. And for me at the time, it was quite obvious that, and when we started Spotify, this is in '06, iTunes still sold DRM track. They were copyright protected songs. You couldn't play them anywhere. The quality was 160 kilobits. And at the same time, I could go to, a Pirate Bay or Kazaa and download the same song pretty much as fast in lossless quality and with no protection whatsoever. So it was obvious to me that for the first time in history, the pirated product was actually a lot better than the one you could buy. So no wonder why people use pirated services. So what we tried to do with Spotify, and the goal was to create a service that was actually better than piracy. It was simpler, it's easier for people to discover and share music. It's really all that. And we realized that if we could do that, maybe we could take a big chunk of the 500 million people that consume music illegally. And by doing that, getting the music industry back to growth again, where artists can keep making great music that we all can enjoy.
And in a nutshell,
The mission of Spotify app interface is to be the linkage between those who want free music and those who still want to support artists or listen to music legally. Instead of having people listen to music illegally with no delegation and manageable numbers towards the artist's benefit, Spotify linked that gap for their listener and artist, keep them connect to their favorite artist. But in addition to that, given the user room to learn more about music they might not have heard of. In 1981, record was $9.98. In 1998, cassette tape was $9.94. 2002, CD was $19.99. 2012, iTunes album was $9.99. Today, Spotify is $9.99 a month, and you get the whole world of music. So here's a quote from, I can't read his name, Hutamon. An interactive system is characterized by a real-time relationship between the human and the system. In an inactive system, the role of human agent is not restricted to control and occasion intervention. Rather, the system requires the actions of the user repeatedly and rapidly. Thus, interactive system is not based on waiting, but on a constant reacting. I believe this applies very well to the usage of Spotify. Spotify is constantly tracking the taste of your music, genre, your favorite artists, and different variables that went in the background as well. This is what Huterman described as a constantly reacting. Combining Spotify application with variation of different platform, which gives it different interfaces as well. For example, PlayStation 4, computer, Mac to smartphones. The resources it takes to use this music stream service is eco-friendly in comparison to previous music player interfaces such as vinyl or cassette tape. Users can download Spotify anytime with no need for Spotify machine to be created in the real physical world. What makes Spotify great is its simplicity. Throughout our life of music interface evolution, we already knew how to operate a digital music player. The function of Spotify is the same way as other music player we used in the past. The limitation of MP3 is that it's only encouraged the listener to listen to what was mainstream or what was easily accessible. With Spotify, the listener can do the same thing while having access to majority of the music in the world, including music and artists they might not have heard of. Interfaces can use primarily to enhance the experience, and a lot of interfaces can be gimmicked. For example, think of Google Glasses, which was definitely an interface, combination of glasses and technology. Google Glasses, in this case, is a metaphor for technology that require more than additional interaction, more than is necessary. In the case of music player, previous technology such as cassette tape is a equivalent of Google Glasses. There was time and place for it. It served its purpose, but having the least amount of interface is the goal of the interface itself. The key to having an integral functional interface in mass audience is its capacity to seamlessly fit in the world function. So Spotify is a really great example of that.
And releasing our first pair of smart glasses next year. Now, I can't go into full product details yet, but they're going to be the next step on the road to augmented reality glasses. And they look pretty good too. So here's a quick video that our team put together.
Introducing the glasses of the future. Cutting-edge technology ahead of its time. The eyewear of tomorrow.
Aiding the cause of science inching my way towards my future.
I wish I could see out of this thing.
That concludes my presentation. I like to make a quick announcement for people who will participate. There will be a giveaway. I'm giving away Tony Robbins Money Master the Game copies for the top participants. This will be given to you in person once we're back in class. The book is a strategy from world top investor, so you can set yourself up for financial freedom for the next 40, 50 years. After you're done with school, you can set yourself up for good by the time you get to your 60, 70, something like that. The book is worth $40, and I'm giving it away for free. So if you can, please go to D2L. I wrote down a list of questions, and you can just pick a few questions from there. And if you don't want to answer the question, just write down whatever you want to write down. I appreciate it, and have a great weekend.